on this giant investment right now.
Mike, you called it Armageddon, right?
Yeah, well, software Armageddon. You lost $611 billion in market cap in software stocks last week. And you look at a Salesforce, which is historically traded at 45 times forward earnings, is now trading at 14 times forward earnings. And it's a lot of these software as a service companies, which are the gem of the market in that they have very high quality reoccurring revenue and very high margins. And the argument is that AI agents are going to completely replace that. I think that is a nonsense argument. I think there are certain software companies out there that are going to become redundant. But it's funny. This also crushed Blackstone, right? Because they, in some of their funds, they lend to some of these companies. And the stock's gone from 175 to 125, but the regional banking index is up 13% year to date.
Wow.
So, I mean, we were talking about this roughly a month ago. I still really like the bank stocks. I see Mike Mayo's out pounding the table on Citigroup. Stock might get back to its 2007 highs. I doubt it. What say you, Mark?
Yeah, look, the banks are going to continue to take advantage of this, and it makes.
Do you remember during the 2008 crisis, Mike, when I think Hank Paulson wrote this in his book, the former Treasury Secretary, and he said that at that time there were conversations between officials in China and Russia, and they were saying we should get together to sell U.S. Treasuries to put a big sell-off underway in the U.S. just to put pressure on them.
Yeah, look, they can try, but the problem is every other major sovereign nation is in worse financial shape than us.
Right, what's the alternative?
Exactly, and then from a pure logistical standpoint, there's nowhere to go, right? So all these European companies and pension funds could talk about selling their treasuries, but once they do it, what are they going to do with the cash, right? There's no other bond market that's as liquid as the U.S. Treasury bond market, so that's why we will remain the default currency for the world and the reserve currency until something else can replace us, because it's not going to be the euro, it's not going to be Chinese government bonds, right? You can't do it with gold, you can't do it with Bitcoin. Yeah. So we're here to stay.
Bottom line, you want to buy stocks here, or you want to sell, or take on the sidelines?
Oh no, I'm definitely buying here.
They try to bully management. Google should not buckle; they should quit.
Yeah, well, look, what do you think happens when your politics is your religion? No. Right? Like, it's the false god of liberalism, and these people are insane. And it's like, look, where were these people protesting when Google was kicking conservatives off every one of their platforms, sharing all their emails and personal information with the government without warrants?
Right.
We didn't hear a peep from them then.
Right. Exactly.
The policies haven't changed here. This is the thing.
Oil prices right now are trading this way. Take a look at crude, which is up this morning by a fraction at a level of 64.45 on light sweet crude. Metals, of course, have been on a massive run over the last year and year to date. Gold prices now up about 15.5% in 2026. Silver also higher by another 5%. Mike Lee, this morning, would you put some of the portfolio into metals?
Yeah, I'm more of a gold buyer than a silver buyer. I think you saw this massive run up in silver because you had a kind of the futures market and the physical supply market. There was a mismatch, and so you got that spike up into 120. Roughly is where we got the high, and then the washout that we got a week ago wiped out that artificial paper demand. So like now, I think we got a new home. I'm not as bullish on silver as I am on gold.
Do you want to buy gold, the bullion, or do you want to buy gold miners? Because you can do both in ETFs.
Yes, so I buy BAR, which is an ETF, which has got a slightly lower expense ratio than GLD, and I'm looking to ride gold up roughly to close to 6,000.
So the bullion you're buying.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna reduce once we get another 15 to 20% here.
Okay.
In a perfect world.
Write it up. Lee, I mean, a lot of this rally in stocks and all these. I'm with Mike Lee this morning. Mike, did you want to jump in?
Yeah, Dan, it seems like you've been through this exercise hundreds of times. And now, given the lack of experience with the local PD and the FBI coming late to the game, and kind of all the uncertainties going on around this, if you were in charge, what is your next steps? Like, how do you kind of get this thing on track if there is a getting it on track?
Well, this case already has enough media exposure, and the cat's out of the bag. Typically, you want to do this thing behind the scenes, but they don't have the option to do this. Whatever was in that second email, that email ransom demand, if there's some clues that can be released, I mean, right now, and that's maybe where the direction is heading for Savannah to make that public plea, because at this point, I think they've run through all their leads. They're at a point where they don't have anything new, and anything that the public can provide. I mean, there is going to be a trail somewhere to these abductors. There's going to be a trail to Savannah Guthrie, and either they've got something and they're working it and they're keeping it close hold, but the other flip side is they may have reached an end of where, you know, they've overturned every stone and now they don't have anything to go forward. And that's why I'm fearful that this story, this tragedy is maybe far.
Yeah. Real quick, Mike. Mike was just looking at your chances online, and you
Yes,
liked what you saw.
Yeah, Michelle, you released an internal poll. Like, you've got a competitor in the primary, Royce White. Great candidate, but not with the momentum that you have. Given that this is an open seat, this is a real opportunity for a Republican pickup. Okay, in my mind, this is going to be a turnout election. How are you going to get people in Minnesota to show up and vote? Is it the fraud? Is it immigration? You tell me.
I think it's all of the above, but I think the fraud is really pushing a lot of people. As someone said to me yesterday, something we all have in common in Minnesota, no matter where we fall on the political spectrum or what religion we practice, is we don't like our money being stolen from us. So this is a big motivator. We're going to make our way all around this state. And as I said, I've talked to Democrats who are ready to vote for me. So we believe we have the winning message. We believe we have the winning candidate on our team. So this will be a big turnout election. We've got a lot of people heavily vested in getting that vote out, making sure that people make their voices heard. What I hear from every Republican certainly is they are tired of losing here in Minnesota, and that motivates them too.
Michelle, good luck. We'll be watching. Thanks so much.
Thanks.
Lee Carter, Michael Lee, it's been great having you this morning.
Thanks, Maria.
so much.
Final comments?
Yeah, this trial is unbelievable, one to watch. It could be a new series of tobacco lawsuits for the social media companies, so watch it closely.
So you think more lawsuits could be coming?
Well, depending on how this goes, it could open Pandora's box.
Wow, Lee.
I look at this and I worry.